Hello everyone, today we are talking about one of the most hated maps to ever exist in zombies history, and that is Die Rise. In my opinion, I really did not like this map when it was first released, and throughout the years I've always hated the map, but now that I started playing it again, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's one of the most underrated maps that's ever existed. It's extremely difficult compared to the other maps just because of how awkward corridors are and just a lot of tight spaces. Not a lot of places you can train zombies. The wall buys aren't really incredible except for one of them that I had a huge change of heart on. And of course, you can't forget about the Sliquifier, the wonder weapon for this map. It is probably one of the more unique wonder weapons that's ever existed. It's not great, but it is fun to mess around with. It's very easy to kill yourself with it, just sliding off a map or getting stuck in a corner and just getting trapped just because you can't escape because you accidentally shot the Sliquifier right in front of you. Another thing on this map that's unique to two other maps, Transit and Buried, is the bank. Love it or hate it, the bank can be very useful just for getting set up for high rounds, or if you, I guess, really wanted to do the Easter egg, but it can be pretty helpful just trying to get set up for late rounds. Now that I came back and I'm playing this map, I really do think it was hated just because a lot of us were younger when it came out, and the skill gap is really different on this map compared to the other ones. At least for me, I was quite a bit younger, and I was horrible at this map. I could barely survive. There was really nothing I could do on this map. I didn't think it was fun. It's not open. I do like the setting. I think it looks really nice, and it's kind of a cool, eerie vibe to it, but I really was terrible at the game when I was younger, and I think that is kind of a big reason why a lot of other people hated it, just because it's a lot harder than the other maps. It's not a traditional zombies map. Now, back to the Sliquifier now that I finally found that last part. It could be a very fun gun to use. Again, like I was saying, it is very unique, and the round 100 strategy, as you see in a second, is kind of fun. It gets a little boring. You sit in this corner, you shoot one bullet, and they all just keep sliding into each other, and it's just a huge chain reaction. Pretty easy. You'll see I go AFK and I get into trouble, and I actually end up going down, and then, in my opinion, one of the worst perks to ever exist, Who's Who, is you'll see it come into play here. I panic. I'm not sure what I was thinking. I jump down, I kill myself, and that's the end of the round 100 attempt. And I want to blame it all on Who's Who. I just panicked. It was really my fault. I went AFK, and then I panicked when I got back. But I still hate Who's Who. You still take damage. The zombies are attracted to you. And it's just such a useless perk, in my opinion. It's cool, it's unique, but very useless, in my opinion. Now, let's move on to the perks. This is also another mechanic in the game that a lot of people did not like about Die Rise, and I do not like it either. It's very tedious if you go down, and they can screw you over a lot, and that is, of course, talking about the elevators. You never know where they're going to be, and when you need that perk, it might not be there. And maybe you run into it and you need Jug or a Quick Revive, and guess what? The elevator is going to move. And then you get trapped in a corner, you don't have the perk you need, and you're dead. You can get free perks from the Jumping Nova Crawlers, and I believe it caps out at 6 perks. These are a pretty unique, I guess, dog round or ammo round for, I think, any of the maps really in Black Ops 2. It is unique to this map, which I think is a bonus if you're looking at creativeness, but they can be a little annoying. They're a little buggy to melee, but you can get a free perk out of it, so not too bad. You can see right here another stupid down. I just walk off the edge. Very dangerous map. There's a lot of places to jump off the map, fall down, tight corridors. You can clearly understand why this was an unpopular map. And in my eyes, why wouldn't it be the most unpopular? Because just look at all the other maps. You have Buried, which is a classic, Mob of the Dead, which might be one of the best maps ever, Origins, Town was classic. I loved Farm. I loved playing Grief on Farm, and that's one thing I still miss the most about this game, is playing Grief with everybody. Right here you can see I just got smashed in the elevator I thought was going down. Another reason why people hated this map is just because you go in the elevator and you just get crushed in the ceiling. And that's your round over. Now, I know I said that this was probably one of the most underrated maps, and I've just been trash talking it this whole time, but this is where my mind has changed, and that is the SVU. I used to hate this gun, hate this gun, hate this gun. I don't like that it's a chalk buy and buried, and I've never liked the wall buy on Die Rise until now. Now that I'm on PC and my aim is a little bit better, and I've been practicing a little bit, if you hit your shots when it's pack-a-punch, the SVU is a machine. And the fact that it's a wall buy means it could be a high round strategy if you just didn't want to sit in a corner with the Sliquifier. You can buy ammo for it, and if you hit your shots, it is a monster. And you'll see coming up here in a second, I was having a blast with it, just sitting in a corner and just turning into a tower defense, just sitting there, headshot, headshot, headshot. It's such a fun gun to use. It might be my new favorite pack-a-punch gun of all time in any zombies game, just because I used to hate it so much. I thought it was kind of one of the worst guns ever, and it has really bad body damage, but if you hit your headshots, it is a machine. And in my eyes, one of the biggest parts of any map that I rate is the wall buys, just because I like playing for high rounds, and the mystery box obviously has a huge pool of weapons, but the biggest downfall of it is you can't buy ammo. If you run out of ammo with those high rounds, even if it's a bad gun and it's a wall buy, you can still buy ammo for it, which means the game's not over, basically. You can run around and hit the box as much as you want if that's what you want to do, but for a high round strategy, just finding a good wall buy, sitting by it, finding a good spot to train, really, at least for me, is the most comfortable way of doing it, just because you can just buy ammo for it, even if it's not the best gun. Because obviously, you pull a hammer or a Galil out of the mystery box, it's going to be better than any wall buy in the game. But the biggest thing is you can't buy ammo for it. And now that I've been playing with the SVU, I'm not going to lie, it really might be one of the best high round strategy guns in my opinion, if you can hit your headshots. It's just a huge plus to this map for me now, and you'll see here in a second, this room that I found, I really never even knew this room existed. I don't remember this room at all from when I was playing, when the game first came out. But I took the SVU down here, it's right below the wall buy for it, and I was just having so much fun, just posting up in this corner, just hitting headshots, and just kind of sitting here and grinding out. And if I ran out of ammo, I could just run up the stairs, go get some more ammo, and come right back down. And on top of that, I had the PDW wall buy, which is also right above me. So if I ran out of ammo on both things, you can just run up the stairs, go get some ammo, and come right back down to this pretty open room. There's really no corridors in this room. It's just a big open room. There's a couple barriers that they'll jump through, but for the most part, you know where the zombies are going to be. There's really no surprises in here. It's a pretty easy room to survive in. I did have a few close calls, but I mean, I guess that's just part of the fun. That's what makes zombies so fun, is just training around and just kind of surviving. I absolutely love this game, and I think Die Rise kind of makes me a bit happy that it's not as bad as I remembered it, because I really did not like this map, and I remember a lot of people did not like Die Rise, and I'm sure a lot of people still don't. But if you're playing Black Ops 2 still, I recommend, if you're a good zombies player or you're an OG zombies player, just take a second and really try and play this map, because I really don't think it's as bad as we all thought it was. I think when you compare it to every other zombies map in Black Ops 2, two things come to mind. Obviously, the difficulty is pretty amped up with how tight quarters it is, and the verticality of the map. There's no other map that comes to mind, really, even in any other zombie game, that is as vertical as Die Rise, which is pretty annoying, going up and down, up and down. If you want to go pack-a-punch, you got to go all the way down, and then all the way back up to the elevators, and then back over to the skyscraper. It's a lot of up and down, and it can be very tedious. And it's very easy to get caught in there, especially if you're just running around both skyscrapers mid-round. You're not in a good spot. It's very easy to get trapped. So, understandably, I mean, we all know why a lot of people didn't like this map. I mean, it's going up against Buried, where you have a million different traps you can build. You can hide in that corner by Juggernaut, and you can basically survive infinitely. They got the Paralyzer, The ray gun Mark II's in there. The witch house is really cool. There's really nothing wrong with Buried. Everything flows together well with that map. Same with Mob of the Dead, in my opinion. It can be a little bit harder, but again, it's just one of those classic maps that it is built to perfection. And Die Rise just did not, I don't know, it just did not get the same reception at the time. I think it's built really well. I mean, like I said earlier, I think it looks aesthetically pleasing. It's got its own vibe. It does not feel like any other Zombies map that's existed. It just, at the time, was just so difficult, and I think a lot of us were younger, and it was in the same game as Origins, Mob of the Dead, and Buried, and Transit, which actually a lot of people did not like. I mean, I'm sure you already know that. Everybody hated Transit. Now, I think the opinion's kind of changed on it. I'm hoping the opinion on Die Rise will change a little bit, just because I don't know. I think it's really fun. I think the difficulty makes it even better because you can survive basically infinitely on Buried. Same with Mob of the Dead. You have the Acid Trap and the Blundergat, and you can get a Ray Gun Mark II on that. You have the shield in the cafeteria. You can survive pretty long on Mob of the Dead without any issue. On Origins, you have the staffs that make it very easy to just kind of walk around the map and not die. I mean, it's a pretty open map. You get stamina up, you're never going to get stuck in the mud. And I think with Die Rise, it really takes that challenge to step up, because at high rounds, yeah, the Slick with Fire, if you're sitting in that corner, is a very easy round 100, but if you're not using it and you're just running around the map, it's a lot more difficult because you can't really have a gun that'll bail you out instantly like a staff, or the Paralyzer, or the Blundergat. Honestly, I think I've always sort of enjoyed Die Rise. I still remember all me and my buddies when we were kids loading in the Die Rise, and we were just getting smoked every time. We'd get to the mystery box, which is also the only mystery box that I know of in Zombies that was upside down. You all know the room when you slide down, the mystery box is hanging off the ceiling. It's not really a big change, but it's just a little exclusive thing to Die Rise, and we would always get smoked as kids. We would die right as we got to the mystery box. We were terrible at this map. We would never make it that far. It's just, I don't know. Die Rise always has been a classic to me, but it really was not received well by the entire community, and I just kind of wanted to show why I think it's one of the better maps. Honestly, in my opinion, it's very challenging, and that is a huge positive for me. I've been playing Zombies for, years and years and years now. I still remember World at War Zombies. That was so much fun. I was terrified at the time of Zombies. It was really scary playing alone. And now that I'm a bit older, I think Die Rise really is one of the better maps to exist. My favorite still is going to be Mob of the Dead. I doubt it's going to change. But I think Die Rise deserves... I think it really does deserve second place. Very close to Mob of the Dead now, just because the SVU is a wall buy, and I want to start trying to go for high rounds, specifically just with the SVU and nothing else. I think in the future I want to make a video kind of just going around to all the maps and really trying to use all the unusual guns that we really never used back in the day just because they were terrible, like the SVU. And now that I'm starting to go through the game again, it's really fun just testing out all the, I guess, different guns that we never used, because we've all used the Galils, the Hammers, the LSATs. We all know what all the wonder weapons are, but what about like a 5.7? Would that possibly be good Pack-a-Punch? I don't know. I didn't really think anything was going to come out of the SVU, but now it really might be my favorite gun. So I think it would be really fun to just kind of go around the maps and just try Pack-a-Punching the unusual guns that we would really never play with, just because, understandably, there's a lot of better guns with higher damage. Now, I think that is going to wrap it up for the video. I actually had a lot of fun making this one, and I'm definitely not done playing Die Rise. I might make a video on specifically all the wall buys on the map. You see I just ran off the map actually right there. And I respawned, which I've never seen before. I didn't even know you could respawn. If anybody knows what happened there, I thought the game was over, but I don't think Who's Who just respawns you on the map, or maybe you just spawn up here if you jump off. I don't remember that being in the map, but I go down right here, and that's the end of that round. But thank you again. I had a lot of fun making this video. Please like and subscribe, and let me know if you want to see more content.